All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jackson and the Ravens come up now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Terrell McClain in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He sets to fire deep. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big-time 3rd down play for the Ravens. 49 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey. 4 down. Check. No. Check. Patriot.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. Watch him now, Barney. 45's the mic.
They run with Hunt. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
Let's go. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Easy.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Za'Darius Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Got it. Back 25. Let's go.
From the shotgun, Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Gone!
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Hunt. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Gone! Check 27. Eyes on 27. Detroit! Detroit!
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Right there! All day, baby!
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon, it's the Falcons.
Gun! Got it! Right 25!
On 2nd down, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They run. Devontae Freeman. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Hey, gun!
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
12! Get up! Gun!
From the gun, it's Ryan. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfired.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon, and think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
On the run, this is Hunt. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Barney! All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney!
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. And they had him bottled up, but here's a late flag, and a face mask is going to get a much better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask certainly helps things as they'll start up past the 30 on 1st down. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Rolling to his left. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. Here's Sanu on the catch. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
3rd and 2, now Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And Freeman lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now Ryan on 1st down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Looking deep for Julio. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Eric Weddle's one of my favorite players in the league, Brandon. A guy that always seems to be in the right place at the right time, making a play on the football. And he has excellent hands, as we just saw there.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He'll buy some time right, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll toss it to Hunt. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And taken right on the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Hey, gun. Get up!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's caught inside the 25. That one goes for 36 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Okay, you got 4. Let's go.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Ready, back 25.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down.
Single. Eyes on 80. Ready, back 25. Let's go.
Throwing again, Ryan. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk. This is
pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett able to get him for a loss of about 3.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Operating from the gun, Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Back 25!
To throw on second down. Ryan, sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Looking to throw on second down. Ryan, and he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
11.
From the gun, Ryan, flushed out right. It's caught, Jones. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
25. 11.
Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Check me out. We got 3 down, but we got to stand. Hey, white.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
49's the mic. Watch 49. Hey, Sub. Hey, watch the slant.
Operating from the gun, Ryan. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And some space here. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
And there's an explosive run by Kareem Hunt, and it made me reflect back to last year when he was a rookie. He had 12 of those types of runs, 12 over 20 yards. 3 of those he turned into 40-plus. So when you think of explosive runs, think of Kareem.
And to the casual fan, 12 may not sound like a lot, but that was tied for the NFL lead with LaShawn McCoy. He's going deep for Brown. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
You got 4. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Detroit.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep over the... That's caught inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Robert Alford.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To throw on second down, Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, Ryan. He shakes it off. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he's able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your team.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. There's Jackson on third and long. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Tony Jefferson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, Ryan. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's 3rd down. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Third and long. It's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's fielded at the 45. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And now here come the Ravens. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Jordan Lasley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
Here's Ryan. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Tucker now to add the point after. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Back to the air, Ryan after the pick six. And some room to roam now. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They go play action here on first down. Now he'll escape to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Well, that wasn't a completion, but it wasn't a sack either. So the good takeaway, able to extend the life of the play. Normally you would think he'd just take off and run downfield, but he was trying to find an open receiver, unable to do so.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Hey. 4 down. Gun!
From the gun, Jackson steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move, as that gives him a first down. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
Detroit! No. Check. Patriot! Gun! I'm coming for you, son!
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it here with Hunt. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll lead here to a third down.
Gun! Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Detroit! Gun!
Jackson from the shotgun. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, build their confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down, eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on fourth down. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. A toss play to Hunt. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows a coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
25. Hey, wait. 20. Go.
Throwing again. Ryan. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Second and 10 now, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Falcons on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5.
Gun. Ready, blue 80.
Again, Ryan. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan. Now a desperation throw deep. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll begin the drive with Hunt, and he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They run again with Hunt. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. On 3rd down. It's Hunt. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. The Falcons going to use another timeout. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Atlanta now coming out on the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hey, Sam! Get ready!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Ryan. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Ready! Wide 25!
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens are looking like they're going to come away with a victory. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Single. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Detroit! Detroit! They just need you.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice spin into some open field. Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the fourth quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So for Baltimore, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.